Over 2,500 years ago, in the land of ancient Nepal, a young prince named Siddhartha Gautama renounced his royal life to find the path to end suffering. After years of meditation and spiritual quest, he became enlightened as the Buddha. We all know of the Buddha, who shared profound spiritual paths, has enlightened millions over the centuries. But beyond the Buddha, there were 10 remarkable disciples who carried his light and shaped the future of Buddhism. In today's video, we reveal the legendary lives and hidden contributions of Buddha's 10 greatest disciples. Number 10. Sariputta, the Master of Wisdom. Sariputta, a Brahmin by birth. He was Buddha's right hand and earliest disciples. A master of Buddhist philosophy, Sariputta played a critical role in systematizing and teaching the Buddha's profound doctrines. He could explain the most profound concepts with crystal clarity, making complex teachings accessible to all. As the chief in wisdom allowed him to clarify the Buddha's message and ensure its understanding for future generations. Sariputta's wisdom was so great that even the Buddha would sometimes say, "I leave this teaching to Sariputta." Did you know Sariputta was once a skeptic, but after hearing just a few words from one of the Buddha's early teachings, he was inspired to seek enlightenment. He passed away just before the Buddha at the age of 84, ensuring his wisdom was shared widely before his departure. Number 9. Maha, the master of psychic powers. Maha, Sariputta's close friend, was renowned for his psychic powers. He could travel to different realms, communicate with divine beings, and even perceive events at great distances. But despite his powers, Maha was a humble practitioner, deeply devoted to spreading the Buddha's teachings. Little known fact, Maha and Sariputta, both of them passed away in the same year. But his death came under tragic circumstances, as he was brutally killed by bandits due to his past karma. Despite his extraordinary powers, humility, and simplicity, Maha, using his gifts only in service of the Dhamma. Number 8. Ananda, the One with divine vision. Ananda, the Buddha's cousin, was gifted with divine vision, or the ability to see things beyond the normal perception. His clarity of mind allowed him to understand the nature of consciousness and the workings of karma. He used this ability to guide the Sangha and ensure the correct path was followed. His insights helped bring clarity to many of the Buddha's teachings. Did you know? Ananda could see the moment of death of sentient beings and determine their next rebirth, making him a key figure in explaining the cycle of samsara. He played a significant role in the final moments of the Buddha's life, staying by his side until his passing. Number 7. Mahakassapa, the guardian of the Sangha. Mahakassapa was the senior-most monk and a strict ascetic who took over the leadership of the Sangha after the Buddha's death. He led the first Buddhist council and played a pivotal role in ensuring the Buddha's teachings were preserved without distortion. His leadership kept the early Sangha united. Mahakassapa was highly respected for his discipline. He once traded his rich garments for a beggar's robes, demonstrating his deep commitment to simplicity and the monastic way of life. Among the Buddha's chief disciples, Mahakassapa is recognized for being one of the last senior disciples to pass away, leaving behind a significant legacy in the early Sangha. Number 6. Upali, the keeper of monastic discipline. Upali was a humble barber before becoming a monk, but he rose to prominence as the foremost expert in the Vinaya, the rules of monastic discipline. His meticulous nature and dedication ensured that the Sangha followed the Buddha's strict guidelines, maintaining order and purity in the community. Little known fact, Upali was not from a noble background, but through dedication and hard work, he rose to become one of the most respected figures in the Sangha. He set the foundation for the monastic code that is still followed by Theravada monks today. Number 5. Katyayana, the great expounder. Katyayana, known as the foremost in explaining the Dhamma, had a unique ability to break down complex teachings and make them understandable to the masses. His gift for communication helped spread Buddhism far and wide, reaching people who might otherwise have struggled with the deep concepts of the Buddha's teachings, making him one of the most important teachers in the Sangha. Number 4. Punna, the greatest preacher. Punna was renowned as the greatest preacher among the disciples. His powerful oratory skills and deep understanding of the Dhamma attracted many to the path of enlightenment. He played a significant role in spreading the Buddha's teachings, especially in remote areas, and was able to convert many people to Buddhism with his deep understanding of the Dhamma. Number 3. Rahula, the Buddha's son. Rahula, the Buddha's only son, entered the monastic life at a young age. Though initially desiring material gains, Rahula became a model of obedience and dedication to the monastic path. His transformation serves as an example of the power of the Buddha's teachings to change even familial bonds. Little-known fact: the Buddha's teachings to Rahula, including lessons on truthfulness and mindfulness, are still recited today in Theravada monastic training. Number 2. Subhuti, the master of emptiness. Subhuti was known for his understanding of shunyata, the concept of emptiness, the idea that all things are interconnected and devoid of a permanent self. His teachings on compassion and non-attachment became essential to the Mahayana Buddhist tradition. His kindness was so powerful that it is said even nature itself would protect him. He could meditate without disturbance, even in the middle of a rainstorm. One famous story tells of a time when he sat alone in a cave, and the Buddha praised him for truly understanding non-self and impermanence. Number 1. Ananda, the archivist of wisdom. Ananda, the Buddha's cousin and personal attendant for 25 years. His extraordinary memory and role in preserving the Buddha's teachings were essential for the survival of Buddhism after the Buddha's death. He wasn't just a passive attendant. He was instrumental in advocating for the inclusion of women in the Sangha, which shows his compassion and progressive thinking. His kindness and humility earned him the love and respect of the entire Sangha. Did you know Ananda was not enlightened at the time of the first council, but attained enlightenment the night before, ensuring he could properly recite the teachings? These 10 disciples played a vital role in shaping and preserving the teachings of the Buddha. Through their wisdom, leadership, and dedication, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.